Doesn't really matter if you're old and gray. It's alright, I say it's okay. Listen to what I say. It's alright, doing fine. Doesn't really matter if the sun don't shine. It's alright, I say it's okay. We're getting to the end of the day. I take a load, take your pick. 'Cause you can't teach an old dog a brand new trick. I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, there's a place that I can't find. Drink or two to ease my mind. Golden days. It's alright, take your time. Everybody thinks that
Rob Smith here. It's July 14th, 2026. So 12:01 p.m. Eastern, 11:01 a.m. Central, which is where I am right now.
it's alright, it's okay. Doesn't really matter if you're old and gray. It's alright.
Well, I'm going to try to see if this background works well at all. And I hope all are well. This is an illustration I've been working on the last couple days. Each, I guess I put about an hour and a half in it right now. It's a bit. I'm having trouble finding my. There we are. I found the live. I'm not going to be working on this here right this moment. I have something else. I have a friend who's having a very, very rough time of things. And I thought I'd do a little quick drawing that I will send. Wait a minute. Hold it. Oh, wow. Teresa, you're here. And Shay White. I drew Perot Franz singing and dancing today. I don't know Perot Franz. Or Franz Perot, for that matter. Teresa might, I don't know. Teresa might be drawing Perot Franz. I don't know. Where are you? I don't even know where Teresa is. Of course, Teresa doesn't know where I am either now that I think about it. I've moved, Teresa, as of Friday. I'm in a different location. I'm in your time zone. You're in Central, right? So am I. Am I in the right place? Where's my, something's wrong here. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to do a little drawing for a friend of mine who's having a really rough time of things real quickly. And I'm going to use a pencil. Actually, someone who's known me most of my life, well, known me all my life. Parents are ill. One's dying. And they're of age. Actually, I don't want to make this look somber. I want this to look somber. Well, let me go back to this. I'm in PA. Okay, so you're in the Eastern time zone. I'm in the Central time zone. So there. Make this a happier. Because it's likely her mother, who is was a friend of my mother's, for most of my mother's life. But seeing her last days here. I can't do drawings for them. This is a situation, as Teresa knows, when folks get older, you have illness and sickness, and you are, in this case, the person's on a ventilator and has sepsis. Yeah, this isn't a good story. But I decided to put some background music. If that's irritating, let me know. Yes, I'm in. It's not a trailer. Yeah, I'm in an RV. This is a full-size RV. You know what? I like it. Is this irritating? Because I can't hear it. Let me turn it off for a second. That's the first time I haven't used this background. Let me turn it off for a second. That's the first time. Oh, it's overpowering. It's overpowering. I didn't know. Okay, I'll turn this down. Maybe I'll keep it off entirely. Okay. I see a cat. There you are, yes, and I'm getting away. They're big kid. Big kitty people. Hold on, now I got my voice here. I'm in a bad situation. Worse. I lost my arm, Teresa. The only thing that broke the whole trip of the 5.5 hours to get here was the arm that holds this video. It separated somehow during the trip. So I'm waiting for a new arm. So I'm working with an arm that doesn't work as well. Anyway, it's yeah. So my friend, whose name's Betty, her mother Sue, is likely not to recover, and so I can't do drawings for them because they'll never see them. They're not, and her father is mentally, wow, two really smart people. Both of them went to the same college as well. I went to. My mother went to. My sister went to Senator Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. Yeah. So anyway, I am over in Pensacola. That's where I am, and I'm not again. I don't plan to be here for a long time, but just enough to help my old sister-in-law, get herself out of. But I feel bad because she's in a horrible situation, and she has a kind of a adopted brother who's not being overly helpful. And I think you and her are the same age, Teresa. Told you, RVs are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for me, it helps. I've done, well, if you haven't seen, I did this. Actually, my drawings are kind of scary. Because the idea is to get back to doing some artwork stuff, which I've done. I've done this. I've got a number of drawings. I've tried to post them on the face. I don't know if does anyone look at that Facebook, the YouTube Facebooky thing with posts. I'm trying to post the artwork over there. But this is one, and this is of Silver over by where Silver Springs Park is. It was a place called Six Gun Territory where everyone got dressed up in cowboy gear and shot each other for fun and fell off the roof of the saloon, and there were can girls and all that. This is from a postcard. Where was that postcard? Darn, I moved it. Oh, I moved it well too. I had the other postcard I wanted to draw from, and I'm gonna kind of recreate some scenes and have them available. We're gonna try to sell some artwork. How about that? But online, I don't. Actually, oddly enough, it turns out that I really don't want to do shows. I'm not up for that. Someone else wants to. I want to make sure I indicate because I know that if Sue or Kurt were conscious of all around them, they would say what a great daughter she is. But they're not. They're not. And I don't know if her brother is saying that because her brother's not, who oddly enough is a police officer. And if you've been involved with law enforcement or around law enforcement people, as I have, you can get disconnected from things, and I can be. But so maybe that's what's going on with Jimmy. I don't know. The adopted brother. So I'll make sure I mention something I think Sue and her mother and father would say. You are a great daughter. Don't you agree? Now, I don't know how old Shay White is. For all I know, Shay White's 3 years old. I don't know. 3-year-olds could probably type, can't they? If not, why not? I have a 4-year-old granddaughter. I don't know if she can type. All right, so you're a great daughter. Maybe not you're being a great daughter. So that's more. She's very distressed, and she didn't sound it. She could be very stoic. Oh, you can't really see that. God, I can't wait to get that arm that broke. It should. I hope it comes here by the weekend. Because I'm using a springy arm and it doesn't stay still. It moves around and so on. I used this early on. You think so? Thank you. Yeah, what helps with me here is that involving the space is I can really just have just exactly what I wanted, which is a workspace with a lot of room, and then also then I want to go to bed, I go to bed or whatever. There's a kitchen here too, so I can cook as I want. We're just doing a lot of transition, but I'm not here forever. Maybe 2 3 months. Who knows? Maybe I'm here for 30,000 years. If I'm here 30,000 years, if I'm here for 30,000 years, I expect you all to be here too. Don't fail me now. I had some wording I was going to put up here, and I'm open to you all. Put um, I had, and I can't remember what it was. I should have noted it last night. I need to do better about keeping things in the calendar. I made note to do this, but I forgot that. And I also need. I'm going to post the black and white drawing on Facebook and here. I just got up because I was up till I'm up late because I'm trying to do the videos. I'm doing the sped up videos, Teresa. It's okay. I suggest you do too. And if you look at Teresa, I don't know, an Okie artist, I should say, because Shay White has no idea what I'm talking about. Okie artist. I'm not sure if you're posting videos of what you do. And please, if you want, either one of you want to post your website or whatever, if you're in the chat area and you want to, feel free, just like I was doing on Facebook, feel free to put your website. I think I told you, Facebook was just not coming together. Maybe if I get better rolling here. Can I made the arms too long? What is wrong with me in these arms? As if everyone's a simian, swinging from trees and looking for bananas. Maybe I should draw some bananas on here. All right. Well, I can always at least ink this as soon as I find a pen to ink with. And I got to get through all these pens. Oh, that's right. I was using this to ink because it was dry brush, which worked terrific when I was working on that six-gun territory. I don't know, Teresa, if you saw my the post I did of Bernard Cribbins. Right, said Fred. Oh well, Jay White is from England. You should know Bernard. Mark Stein brought that song to my attention, which I think I've heard at some point, but actually listening to it, it's a great song. Another great thing coming from the UK. We're not known for our novelty songs here. We didn't have our Arthur Askey here or George Formby. We had Jerry Lewis, not known for his. Though Lewis did a huge hit with Rockabye, my baby with a Dixie melody. He had a big hit with that in the '60s. And what was that? '60, I think. Cribbins' song came out, I think, '63 or '64. Great song. It's something getting lost in the UK is the tea break, 4 o'clock for tea. I don't know, Shay White. You've heard of Bernard Cribbins, haven't you? Or have you heard of Arthur Askey or George Formby? Melissa Busby, who joins us sometimes. I didn't post I was doing this. I just kind of just came in and did it. She's a Formby fan. Her grandmother got her doing Formby songs back when she was little. That's how she knows who Formby is. And as they say, Formby and Askey helped the UK win the World War II. Yeah, if you want to know the difference between England and the U.S., compare Jerry Lewis and Formby. Or Ken Dodd. I think we were talking about Ted Dodd here. few days ago. I'm a huge fan of because of the death of Whitcomb. A horrible loss. The mindset of Ann Whitcomb. Uh, now, Teresa will have no idea what I'm talking about. Great lady. God, we need women like that with guts in here in the U.S. Get some women in politics in the U.S. who have guts and they get run out. Everything's an emotional roller coaster is what all folks want. I'm going to the six gun territory, and this is going to get very boring as I add the last of the wa- um, colored pencils. Then I figure I'll do that this time, and then I'm going to come back and add a little bit of watercolor. I got to do a number of these, and I'll speed up. Now the next one I want to do would interest Shay White because it's this. So used to have great hotels throughout Florida that had wonderful shows, and you would want to go to see these shows, and they did all sorts of things. And we used to have celebrities who would come out and do these shows. Today we don't have these celebrities. Only want to. I don't. I mean, again, something completely different in the UK. UK, I love it. I mean, like Bernard Cribbins. Bernard Cribbins may do a giant movie that everybody knows. Or I mean, he's no longer. We lost him now. 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But he would do a big movie, and then he would go. I bring James Bolam is a great example. He did a huge series called Likely Lads in the '60s, actually brought back in the '70s, and then he did a number of other big series, New Tricks and so on. So he'd do all these big things. He did big movies, but then he'd go do a children's series, like he did a children's series called Grandpa in My Pocket. And if Shay White considering what Shay White likes to draw, would probably really like a Grandpa in My Pocket. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. But Bola would do that, and Cribbins would do that. But celebrities today just don't do that sort of thing. Here in the U.S. especially. And actually some of the U.K. ones, too, really don't go back and forth much. Emma Thompson is one who still will do big movies and do smaller things, too. TV things. And that's how it should be. It should be just say, oh, I'm only doing movies, and that's the U.S. for you. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I want to do. This is a show at that was at the Sheraton Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. It was there near the beach. It's a big hotel. This was actually on ice, so you would go in to have dinner and watch this this thing on ice. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. And this is a postcard. Oh, this is another postcard. I'm not going to read. I might redo this. That's a thought. This is actually a scene from Silver Spring State Park. And this is basically depicting when some of the Tarzan films, specifically in the 40s, were made at Silver Springs. That is not Johnny Weissmuller. That is Ross Allen, who I'm doing a book about. And one of the goals of being here is to try to get that to a completion. Though I'm being diverted into a book about stories, old Florida stories that I've collected. I'm being heavily lobbied to get that done. But I haven't even started it yet. I mean, except I have the stories. Anyway, that's Ross Allen, which this is not actually as dangerous as it looks. I'm not saying you should go do it. You know, if I don't like you, I'll say go do it. I mean, I don't really know you all. I mean, I know Teresa better. I don't know Shay White. I mean, I may not actually like Shay White. I may actually say, Shay White, you need to go out there and do this right now. Just go find an alligator. Just go and say hello. But don't carry a stick. That's threatening. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but I was interesting thought about redoing one of those Tarzan scenes to depict Silver Springs. But I do want to do one of those dances. I want to do one of those shows. And that was actually back when one thing our celebrities would do a long time ago. They would go out and have clubs. There was an actress by the name of Martha Ray, a bit loud and obnoxious as she was. She had a club in Miami Beach before the big boom of clubs in the later 50s. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm taking a long time here. Let me speed this up. But thank you all for being here. If you have a chance to do a thumbs up, I appreciate it. Wow, I didn't even put an announcement I was going to be here. See how bad we do here. We do too much comparison. Oh, that looks like. Because I thought of this, that, then I realized this looks like the Raisin Bran. But that's how you draw the sun. It's how little children draw the sun. We should go into every preschool and run around and yell at all the children how their sons look like they stole from Raisin Bran. That's how Americans are these days. Oh, I need a little thicker brush. This one right here. I'll get to the color here. Uh-oh. Oh, I just did two different G's. Oh, well. I'm using sketch paper, by the way, from Miller Paper and Pads, which they make their own paper. I think they actually make the paper. I know them from the homeschool convention. I've been using their paper now for many years, and this is great sketch paper. In fact, I've recently the same paper is what I've been using when I did the last caricature thing I did back in May. Here I have to put Robert Smith because that's what she knows me as I was born. They were the first people, parents, Sue and Kurt, were the first to see me after my mother and I think my father. I'm not even clear if my father was there when I was born. I think so. He was. I was born on a base, a military base. I don't have this wording up here, which is unfortunate. Maybe I'll. No, I'm gonna need to color this now. Oops. Come back in here. Little trick to doing eyes. Do that right up in there. See how that bolts out the eyes a bit. Amazing drawing. I always have a sketchbook and test it out. Faber-Castell pencils. Yeah, try. Again, Neil Adams. Watching Neil Adams drawing live on Facebook. I put a fortune into pencils, especially mechanical pencils, and getting what would be thought the best kind of pencils. And when I saw Adams just 5-6 years ago using a number 2, I thought, what the heck am I not using a number 2? Because I've been doing this stuff for 40. I'm in my 47 plus years, in my 48th year. So why am I not doing that? Why? I could draw with almost anything. So I started digging up pencils I have, and they were everywhere. I don't know about Teresa, but my pencils are everywhere. And I thought I had probably 100 of them. So I'm trying to. I want to use these up, and then some of these I don't know how old they are. This is a Sanford, which no longer exists, a pencil. And I probably had this 40 or 50 years. It's getting a little smaller. The eraser that's the problem with time. Erasers no longer become all that viable. But that's still, it obviously pencils. You see this right here. So let me see. And but I'm going to use this eraser, a little pink pearl. Pink pearl, I remember when I was little in Coral Gables, Florida, there was a Woolworth. So Woolworth, my mother had gone to when she was little in Coral Gables. And we got, because there's a pink pearl eraser, but they also made balls. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Pink pearl balls, and they bounced really well. You bounce them, and they go way up in the sky. And when you're 6 or 7 years old, and something goes way up in the sky, basically interplanetary, it becomes quite fascinating. I believe I had that ball up till the moved 3 years ago, which caused me to be suddenly in transit for home situations. And, all right, so I need some wording up here, and I don't know what I'm going to do. How about hope this brightens your day? Okay, Shay White's leaving, and never did it. If you don't know Arthur Askey, or Formby, go look him up. That people need to be smiling more and have happier days. Oh, I got to remember I changed the focus of this. It's sad today we don't have a lot of happy music or things to brighten our days, like I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm surprised that Betty is used to was work for a big home building corporation since well 30, almost 40 years, and was suddenly laid off in January, and that's sad. I'm not quite sure why she was still there, not retired. Not, I still should do this slower. Well, my lettering teacher was a fellow named High Eisman, who did a comic strip called Little Iodine. I try to be consistent with my ways of doing my letters. All right. I'm going to add some. Actually, adding quick color would be so much better if I use watercolor. Oh, let me let that just make sure that ink dries. A little slow down, Mr. Smythe. And I want to do. I'm spending too much time doing this. Oh my gosh! Look how almost half the hour is gone. Thank anyone who's here. Thank you for being here. Okay, so to make this go a little faster, much as I do watercolor, I did not set up my watercolors for this. I don't think about it. I should have. You can look up Bernard Cribbins too. Shay White's gone, I know, but oh, is this watercolor pencil? No, I'm not sure what this is. It is. We had a talk to Betty at length 2 days ago, and I was thinking about this yesterday. I think, golly, I bet no one's telling her because she's good. She's caring for her 92-year-old father and her 87-year-old mother, who's has sepsis, and that's what Neil Adams died from. Did I just mention Neil Adams? I think so. Yes, I just mentioned Neil Adams. Now, there's a reason not to go to a hospital because it's not unusual to go to a hospital and get sepsis. And she didn't have sepsis when she went to the hospital. She got it while she was there. And same way, I think that's true also somewhat for Neil Adams, even though that's not talked about. I believe that. And I have nurse friends, doctor friends, who all also know that if you go into a hospital, you may not come out alive because sepsis is not unusual. We're not as adept at medical procedure as we once were. Much more sloppy here in the States. We more and more resemble a third world nation. In fact, a friend of mine does missionary work in Africa and has commented how she's sadly seen similar approaches she sees in Africa here. I saw such with my father, back in 2016. So people there, I think, were from, two were from, I think, Haiti, which is a third world nation, and the other was from somewhere in South America, which is also a third world nation. And they were with hospice, and they definitely screwed up and helped my father die a little sooner, but he was going to die anyway. But they definitely screwed up because they couldn't talk to each other. So be careful. Don't go to a hospital if you really have to. And if you do, make sure it's minor and take it with you. But if an unusual death occurs, like sepsis, you can't blame them. They're off the hook. Laws have been made, so they're free to kind of kill you. Tough luck. Isn't that sad but true? It's true. Here, I'm going to add a little red in here. I should not put all this time into this. Because I got to get my watercolor set up here. I've not done that. Where's my watercolor set? Sure. If you want, please in your chat. Well, I guess Shay White doesn't have a site. And I guess Teresa left. She is in Pennsylvania doing a gig of caricature at the fair. If you're in Pennsylvania, go visit her. Say hello. I think she would have commented if she'd stuck around because this is something she'd like. Taking way too much time with this. Way too much time. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. My friend, I guess I would say. Okay, I know the yellow I need. I know it's actually over the side, on the other side of me here, but I need to. And I'm doing the color because I need to speed up. I haven't been doing color. Anything. Been a while. Just moving around stuff. Now I'm my sister-in-law who's here. She's ill too. She has the COVID, long-term COVID. But I actually have not seen her. She's not far from me. She's right over. About 50, maybe about 100 feet from where I am in another building. I've not seen her since, we talked every day, I think. Yeah, every day since Friday, but I haven't seen her since Friday. She's been sick. Now, that's not hospital related. She's not much for hospitals. Sue and I, Betty and I, who this is for, talked about this. That her mother, like my mother, were not much for hospitals, and so that she's in one now. Not good. She would not like that. So I've used some orange on top of the yellow. I mean to do this faster. It's taking way too long for me. Way too long. But I want to add some green because I like green. Green's a good color. I like that a lot, but I don't want to get too dark. I gotta get to this. I want to get to 6 gun territory. I'm going to finish up the color pencil part of the 6 gun territory, and then Then I will be setting up my watercolor between this time and tonight at 7 Eastern Standard Time or 6 o'clock Central, or if you're Shay White in England, 5-hour difference there. That's what you can do with colored pencils. I hope you all are doing well and not in a hospital and not with sepsis. All right, light blue here somewhere. This is actually a non-repro blue. It's not the best thing to use, but I'll give it a little quickly. And I want to get this in here. I don't do enough of these, and I'm not drawing much. Teresa knows this. talk to her about it. I'm just not been doing much drawing at all. I've done more drawing since Friday than I have in 7 o'clock tonight. I'll have all this artwork I've done since Friday. It's quite a lot. Really surprised. That's fine with me. I don't live for this stuff. It's something I've learned how to do over 47 years. Now, Teresa's more of a real artist type. I'm not. I don't like art museums or art shows or anything, really. Unless it's comic, good illustration work. Very good illustration work from the 1800s and all. Back when people really knew how to draw. I'm doing this wrong too. I'm giving the indication that the light is coming from the cat. That's not supposed to be the case. The cat's just supposed to be loud. Coming from here. Just real quickly. This is taking way too long. And as I keep coloring, I'll speed up like I always do. But right now I'm going a little slow. I hope you can see this kind of hard. I apologize. Sorry about that arm breaking to the held the phone. It's really limited things. And try to. I hope to be doing watercolor at 7. I'd like to finish this up. I like only doing these for an hour or so. I may turn this off and we can come back again. Part of it is I want to be able to do the video. Yesterday I went too long during one of these. I can't remember if it was night or day. It's really simple. Gotta make sure a little bit more darkness. But I'm learning more and more I have a big scanner over here, but my photographing it works a little better. I'm going to come in here and just cover this up so the tail disappears a little bit. I'll also use this as a probably won't post this beyond what you're seeing here, because this is really kind of more personal, but this is the best way to get done for me. How's that looking? Well, one thing I like about doing artwork here is that I can look at it. God, this thing is just a mess. It keeps dipping down lower than I want it to. But I can look at it at the screen, and it's like looking at one way to test what you're working on artwork wise is by looking at it at a distance. You know, I may not make it. I may stop this as soon as I get this done. I may finish this, stop it, restart, because I don't want this to go over an hour, and I want to get the colored pencil stuff done. All this is reminding me that I'm going too slow. This should have been done in 15 minutes. Too much time. One thing is I'm using the colored pencils as compared to watercolor, which is somewhat a mistake. You want to do things fast? This is not the way to do it. For my purple, here's purple over here. Well, that's not purple. Here's purple, it's not sharp. Okay, so this will be the first hour. Then I'll come back and do the other. Work on 6 gun territory. I want that done in an hour. And then at 7 o'clock tonight, I want to get the watercolor in there. Oh gosh. And I've just been up because I went to bed around 3. And if you want, so please subscribe and like and share and all that if you feel it's worthy. I'll give it a to. Oh, I got a little crinkle of that. And, oops. I can't believe where I was a week ago and what I'm doing now. Wow. But yeah, if you know someone who's having a rough time, let them know that they're doing a great. If they're doing a great job, if they're having a rough time, it's their own fault. And frankly, the hell with them. if they're being self-destructive, well, they deserve what they get. But and it is just a reality when your parents are in their 80s and 90s that they are going to die at some point. And as I said to Betty, it's mother has sepsis. That means she's in pain and things are going. She's is suffering, and that's not good at all. I want to get the orange back. Excuse me while I experiment a little bit, get my head thinking color again, or doing any artwork at all. Oh, there's a postcard I was asking about. Hold on. Almost there. It's all on the ground. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a postcard that I'm working from. Some, I mean, obviously not really, but some of them. So. Yeah, I'm not near where Sue and Kurt are, or we're near the hospital. And anyway, I'm 5.5 hours of where I was a week ago, but I am 7 hours away from where Sue is in the hospital. But I will definitely make a trip down there. All right. That's okay. Put too much time into it anyway. All right. So I'll probably photograph that and send it to her. So there's another bit of drawing I've done. Boy. I started doing kitty sitting and looking out the sun. I realized that's more for someone who's died, not someone who's still alive. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to quit that, and that will just be a happy little. And maybe I'll do some birthday things for folks I know, since I'm doing so much of this. But I gotta get my watercolor set up, and I'm gonna finish up with color pencil this here, hopefully within the hour. I did most of this in an hour, I believe, and then I'll come back tonight, and I'm gonna have watercolor and kind of get this to be a little bit sharper. Then I have an outline to do. I don't know if I'll get that done today, maybe tomorrow at noon. But I'm going to keep trying to do these noon 7 to keep me drawing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and quit now, and I'll be back in a bit. I may go ahead and just take a little break, too, from things. So maybe what time is it? Maybe at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central. Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for being here.